and we are live.
House of a Baz. I'm Ronnie Adams.
And I'm Jacob Casas, and we actually got a special guest today, but we're going to call this episode A Mayor That Stands With You. So I want to have her introduce herself and to the audience and let everybody know who you are, and give a little rundown about what you do and what's going on.
All right. Well, what's up, guys? My name is Jessica Qattawi, and I do a lot of things. I own an advertising agency located in downtown Riverside.
Okay.
I have a teeth whitening kit called Qattawi Wowie. And right now, I am currently running for mayor of Riverside.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
It is.
You're our first person in here in the politics running for mayor, so that's pretty cool for us.
Well,
I like
thank
that.
you for having me and letting me be the first.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks. Shout out to Oli too for introducing us and getting her on the pod. So I mean, we could probably just start diving in on this because
it's a lot to be said.
So the whole first off, you're an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah.
So that's like obviously I feel like a lot of people that would be running for mayor are going to have some form of leadership in them. So, I mean, what made – first, let's kind of dive into that a little bit.
Like what made me an entrepreneur?
Yeah. How long you been an entrepreneur for?
Well, when I was 5 years old.
Let's go back there.
Legit, when I was 5 years old, I wanted ice cream. We lived in apartments. And this is a time that, a kid could, go across the street and go run around,
Our time.
Yeah. And so I wanted ice cream. My grandma wouldn't give me money. So I went to the cabinet that had all the handy snacks. Do you remember those crackers with the cheese and the little red stick? And I went and grabbed them, and I started going door to door, knocking on people's doors, asking them if they wanted to buy crackers. And I even remember telling one lady, she's like, "Oh, you're so cute. How much?" And I told her $1.
And you used that, huh? You used that cuteness, huh?
Yeah. And no, but I ended up, making enough money to go buy ice cream. And I think, that was the first time that I took the initiative to go make money. But my parents are entrepreneurs, so they really are the inspiration behind that because they really work so hard. My parents, I remember them in the swap meet back in the day, going to the Van Buren swap meet in Riverside. And, us waiting at 4 a.m. to go in to get a good spot. And then my mom would sell all the beauty stuff, and my dad had stereo equipment, and it was fun. This is the days when the swap meet was the place to be. Every single booth was filled, and there was lots of people, music, and just excitement. It was really fun.
Yeah. So what did your parents sold stuff at the swap meet? That's what they were doing? That's
what they started doing. Yeah. That's where they were entrepreneurs.
And when did you decide to open a business? When did you decide to do that?
Well, throughout my childhood, I always would do things like that. One time my mom bought earrings, gave them to me. I went and resold them to my neighbors, once again, door knocking, which is coming in handy being, running for mayor.
That's real. I was about to say, you're not just an entrepreneur, you got hustle in your blood also.
Oh, for sure.
So that's why the city probably needs a woman like you so that you can hustle also for the city. Yeah,
to stand up for everybody, too. I'm also very strong. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
that's what it takes to be an entrepreneur is to... you can't really take what everybody else is telling you. You got to do what's right for the business and to move forward. So is that something you're looking to implement in that for running for mayor for the city of Riverside?
Yes. So a lot of people ask me, "Oh, why are you running for mayor? You've been a social media influencer, you have a podcast, you have a business. Why would you go and do this?" Well, first of all, I'm a humanitarian and I care a lot about people, and I always want to make a difference. This is the biggest opportunity to actually make a difference in my whole city. Yeah. And what I've noticed is everybody's really unhappy. Our utility costs went up. Nobody really feels safe in the city anymore. I don't know if you guys go out to Riverside, but we have a lot of homeless and a lot of just, it's gotten pretty bad.
I've been noticing that, yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty bad. I own an advertising agency. I talk to a lot of business owners. I hear their struggles. I hear what's going on. And I'm the type of person that takes the initiative to make change.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I'm a quick thinker. I always have solutions when anybody has a problem. And so I'm like, you know what? I think this is exactly what I need to be doing. And
so you see the need of the people right now in Riverside. So what steps are you going to take to make some of those turn those frowns into smiles?
Well, there's so many things. So, for example, with the homeless situation,
Let's start there.
I do have a plan, and
You don't want to.
I don't want to talk about it. But you know what? If I mention it on here, maybe it's safe because now it's been recorded, and I can actually talk about it. So, you know what? Maybe
If you want to, you can. And I look at things like this. I mean, people are not going to always agree with you, and that's okay. But you, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you know that if you were to listen to all your employees or all these different people that you're doing, your business would go down. Yeah. You can only see things from a certain distance on how to fix things for your business. Mm-hmm. So it's fine if a lot of people don't agree. We're going to get trolls. We're going to get all that kind of stuff. We ain't worried about that. We get that. Recently, we've been getting
definitely.
Pretty bad. And we can care less about trolls. Right. So I mean, as a business owner, you got to have tough skin. You're just like, you know what? Just go for it sometimes. So whatever you want to say on this podcast, you are allowed with us. Yeah. I know there's things that maybe you don't want to always get into, but if you want to share that,
you don't have to say. And I understand. And I understand, even in business and trying to help the people, it's going to take financial, it's going to take financial
backing. Financial backing. Well, our city spent $10 million last year to fix our homeless problem, and it didn't get fixed. Mm-hmm. That's why everybody's so upset, because we've got all this money being invested into something and we're not seeing results, and that upsets me. I'm a very passionate person. I stand up for what's right, mm-hmm. and when I see that happening, it bothers me, and I want to stand up for what's right. I'm like, well, I gotta do something about it. If nobody else is going to do it, then I'm going to do it. And I do believe that God made me really strong for some reason. Just the past year, I went through so much stuff. And I say my heart was broken in every single way it could be. And not just like love, not, like from my business to friendships to so many different things, that I knew that there was something more. I have so much faith in God. I pray every day. And to be honest, I do feel that he put this in my heart and he wants me to do this. So at the end of the day, whatever the outcome is, whether I win or not, I feel good. I feel like I'm doing what God wanted. And just today, I saw this guy start posting and tagging me in videos of him speaking to the homeless, because I've been doing that. And it really made me feel good. I felt like, okay, I'm making a difference. I'm inspiring people to see what's going on, to get involved, to vote, to, make a difference. And that's just amazing. So either way, I'm happy. It's like I'm winning.
Can I give you a suggestion real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, because since I hear your faith and I hear you saying, I believe in God and your faith is big. Maybe you should connect with all the nonprofit organization and all the churches, and allow them to come in and help you, support you, get some of these homeless people off the streets with their services.
And I totally agree with you. And I actually started creating a list of nonprofits mm-hmm. that I believe that the city should actually be more involved with and working with. Mm-hmm. And I have a podcast, and I interview nonprofits. If you check out my podcast, You'll see all the different interviews I have with them. But I'm with you on that. However, let's talk about the homeless issue.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay? Yeah. So if it was that easy, if $10 million was spent and we didn't get any results, what happened? What's going on?
Where does that money go to?
Yeah.
That. I mean, right off the bat, you always know, like me and my mom, I'm thinking that money didn't go to no homeless. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that money went somewhere else. I mean, they're just like, who knows? We know that that's how it's done a lot in the country. You know what I mean? Yeah. A lot of that times that money just goes somewhere else.
Because the city is not actually feeding them with the food drives. Actually, they're not. They're getting food drives from different...
They get grants
and organizations.
Or donations from big businesses that are in the community. Yeah. So it's a huge concern for the residents.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're like, okay, $10 million went towards this, our tax dollars, our utility costs went up. We have something called the General Fund Transfer, which is where the city takes 11.5% of what we pay towards utilities, and they take it into this fund that's for the city. It's the general fund. What they use it for, it's, kind of up in the air.
Right.
But it's a lot of money that, is being taken from us, and we're not seeing results.
Right.
But the homeless issue, Why are they doing stuff and it's not working? Well, a lot of people have concerns that it's payroll. They just keep hiring people, but these people aren't getting anything done. You know, and I think they need more accountability. They need to know that people are expecting results, not just like, hey, you got a job, yay, okay, you work in this department at the city, you know. There's responsibility that comes with it. People are expecting you to make a difference in their life. Like, you got hired to do something bigger.
Yeah. Well, the workforce is obviously like taking a hit. Like, people are not working the same like they used to anymore. They don't care about their jobs, and you know, it's hard to find good employees. So that makes a lot of sense to me. But I want to play a little devil advocate on that end real quick at the homeless.
Okay.
Because I'm in my mind, I'm thinking this. Okay, I would say a big percentage of homeless are drug addicts.
I was going to go
And,
right
it's
where
like,
you're going.
and a lot of these guys are methed out, tweaked out, cracked out. I mean, they're talking to themselves. Obviously, now people are like, well, wait a minute. They have mental issues. Well, yeah, because they cracked themselves out. That's how I'm looking at it, right? So I'm going to play like the bad side of that, because I can say that I'm not running for mayor. You know what I mean? But I'm saying is you look at that. So it's like, how are you going to get those people jobs? What are you going to do with those kind of people? Because I would say a big portion of that is
They want to
them.
be there.
They want to be on the street. They're comfortable with that. They want to be smashing in places and taking their stuff. You know, they don't want to have to work. They want to just live that way.
Yeah.
So how would we get those kind of people off the streets? That's what I'd be wondering, you know?
Okay, I think I'm just going to disclose my plan.
Okay.
Because it's recorded, and I'm going to say it out loud. I kept praying that I could figure out a solution. And I had my fundraiser a few nights ago. It was cigars and whiskey. It was a lot of fun. And this woman actually drove my friend that's a comedian that came to perform there. And as I was talking about homeless, her eyes lit up and she came to me. She told me something, and we started talking, and it made sense. And I'm like, oh, wow, you know, and I'm looking up like, God, did you send her? You know, and she told me, she's like, I feel like God wanted me to be here. So earlier that day, a man came up to me while I was at a networking event, and he said something similar. So it was like two very similar things, but a little different. So I kind of like put it together in my own way. And basically what it is homeless people cannot be forced to do anything, the unhoused. We can't tell them to go to a bed.
Right.
Riverside has beds available, and supposedly it was said, oh, if we have beds, then we can take them off the streets. No, they can refuse. Also, if there's rules, they don't want to go. And just the past few days, I've been interviewing the homeless, going out in the morning. I make tea and some snacks and sit with them and talk to them.
Yeah.
And they all are telling me the same thing. They don't want rules. One guy said he doesn't want to go to wherever they want to take him because they won't let him drink his beer. He said he needs his beer to relax. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like you said, they do have issues.
That's how they want to live a lot of the times.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm kind of looking at that as like, I mean, I'm not running for mayor, so I don't care if people get pissed off at me. But how I look at it as, we got to get those people off the streets from like vandalizing businesses and taking away from the people that are working hard for
Breaking
that. Like,
into homes.
why do they get to be allowed to, like, right off the bat, they get to go right back to where they were? Mm-hmm. So like something has to happen, and they're just like, I mean, they're arrest. I mean, I'm not going to get into all this, but they arrest a lot of people, but yet they let these guys just keep breaking into to places and do their thing all the time. So I'm kind of like, well, why is that allowed and other things aren't allowed? You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's crazy. Well, obviously, Newsom had put some policies that allow people to get away with a lot of crime and have no accountability for what they're doing.
Yes.
So
that was crazy. Oof. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys see the video that went viral? And our current mayor is on there laughing with Newsom about.
No, I didn't.
No, you guys have to play that.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going viral. I think that it was a bad look for our city that our mayor was laughing at what he was saying. And it's like it's policies that he set up, and it hurts our community. It hurts our business owners. It allows people to feel like they can steal and get away with it. Yeah, and I don't think that's okay. And
No.
one of the things I would do as mayor is I would go get all my local leaders to sign a petition, and I personally would go to Sacramento and present it and say, this needs to be changed. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean?
it
Whatever
has to-
it takes,
yeah.
but things need to change. This is not okay.
Well, that's the thing with entrepreneurs too. Like they go and they get things done because they have no choice. Their business depends on it. It's sacrifice. It's like, say, okay, I'm here struggling. I need to. My business needs to survive. I'm going to take care of this. So a lot of politicians are going to be like, hey, I'm just going to write this up and then it get to when it gets to it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is good. It's a big deal. I think that's great that you would do that. You know.
Yeah, of course.
And you know you're going to get fight on it. I mean, so
Let's
what
go.
kind? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
No, it's like God made me really strong for a reason, and I'm ready to go.
So you're just ready to get things done.
I am.
So you're like on a mission. Like I just want to get things done.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I've been in Riverside since I was 4 years old, and I've seen the decline, and it right now is the worst. It's the worst that it's ever been. And working with other, small businesses, that's when you really realize how bad it is.
That's funny that she said that. We had a guy on our show. He owns a barber shop in downtown Riverside, and his shop just got broken, shattered. His whole-
Right.
It was all over Instagram.
Yeah.
He's like, man. He's like, and he's a man of God. He's like, hey, listen, like God, I'm still gonna be good, But he's upset because he knows it's the homeless breaking into his place, and he has to put all this money in. This is what happens. A business, they can get away with that, but a business owner, if they go and they take revenge on them, like maybe beat them up, get them, then they go to jail.
Yeah, they're the ones
and the
that get
homeless stay outside doing their thing.
Just keep
It's
going.
like there's no like repercussions for what they're doing.
No.
And that's messed up because this guy will probably spend more time in jail than they would just by breaking into somewhere. But if this guy like retaliates, then he's going to spend more time in jail.
He gets in trouble.
And then he loses his business. I mean, there's so much that can happen from that. So that doesn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of things that do need to be done.
Yeah, and so, okay, you guys ready for it? I'm
ready.
going to tell you my plan. While I've interviewed the homeless the past few days, I asked them if they would be up for my plan, and everybody said yes. The only pushback I got was them saying that they don't think the city would be down for it because the city's making money off of homeless, which there's a YouTube video if you get a chance. It's called the Industrial Homeless Complex. Check it out.
Okay.
It's about how our governments make money off homeless and why it seems to never go away. So my idea is we build something like a parking structure, okay, and it has slots, different areas, maybe get some old RVs in there, and we let them go in there. We take them off the streets and we bring them in there. This is step one. Get them off the streets. The goal is initially get them off the streets so our residents can feel safe again, and so our children can go to the parks. They can go to school, feel safe, because right now most people do not
And it
feel
don't
that.
smell like piss and urine everywhere down.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Everywhere. I mean, the other day I saw a unhoused woman walking without a shirt, without a bra, without it, like, you know what I mean? Like
Damn.
half naked in the middle of the street, a busy street. And what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
So step one, we get this facility set up. No rules. We got to tell them because that's what their thing is. Like, I don't want no rules. Okay, no rules. Go in there. Have your thing, whatever, do your thing. Once every couple days, we'll have people come through with food and water. That way they get what they need. Kind of give them like their own little sitting area. But we don't want that to grow, right?
No, yeah.
Because that could grow, and I don't know why, but I
They'd
just
be
thought of
coming
Super
from
Mario
all
Brothers.
over the world.
Just to go to that place.
Just to go to this place.
Yeah, do you guys remember that movie Super Mario Brothers and how it was like all crazy and there was like
Hey, we know where we can go smoke some crack at.
we don't want that. But it's that's why I say it's part one. It's
Okay.
just to get them off the streets so everybody can feel safe and we can find a solution that works for everybody, for the homeless and the residents.
Yeah.
Now, step two is outside of this area, we'll have different like portables or, like an RV classroom where we provide different classes where maybe, they take a class about.
I think that's great. If you're putting all this money in, it needs to go somewhere anyways. They put $10 million into
Definitely.
it, so I'm like thinking, well, people are going to be complaining about what you're saying, but hey, where'd that $10 million go? So keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there before people are
Yeah.
like, where's this money going to come from? The same place the money came from last time.
That we
Yeah,
don't- that we don't-
exactly.
And
that you
nothing's
don't
happening.
see.
Nothing's
That you don't
happening.
see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get into something else too that they're trying to pass right now that could really screw us over. But But yeah, so the money, the 10 million. So I'm on it. I'm an entrepreneur. So I already checked to see how much it would cost to build
Ooh.
a parking structure.
Okay.
It's $6 million. And I also reached out to the city to find out all the property that the city owns, from land to property, so I could see if anything would make sense. I'm trying to find something that's not necessarily like centrally located.
Out the way.
So yeah, so people can, not feel, uncomfortable.
Like they got a prison of homeless people over there.
Yeah. So it's just
They just don't see
but
it.
I don't want them to stay there. I do want them to get the help that they need. And
Rehabilitated. Something needs to happen.
Yeah, rehabs for the
Yeah.
ones that are on drugs.
Or, yeah.
Counseling for the ones
It's
that
big.
are just.
You own to something.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're on to something.
Yeah.
Because
I think. Thank you.
and as
It's
and
like,
as soon as
still
you
like coming together in
you
my
own
head
it,
too.
so-
well, as soon as you get involved in it too, more will probably flourish from that.
Mm-hmm.
With maybe other people get involved and other ideas come in, and it'll probably just keep flourishing that whole idea.
Yes.
So I mean, you're onto something because there's a lot of money already being taken out by the people. Where is it going? And if their plan has not been working, why not try your plan?
Exactly.
So who
we
you
need
running
to we
against?
need to try something new.
Right.
I'm running against the current mayor. It's just me and her.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. And how long she's been the mayor there?
4 years.
She's
Yeah,
only there
and
one-
most people that I talk to say they're not happy with, what she's accomplished in 4 years, and they are ready for change. I like most people that I talk
Have
to.
you started your campaign already?
Oh yeah. I started campaigning since October.
Okay.
I came in a little bit late. One of my friends is running for city council, and he knows how I am. He knows that I like to help people make a difference. Like that's kind of my thing. Like I want to make people's lives better. And he's like, yeah, maybe you should run. So I went and actually tried to run for city council. And I found out that my area was redistricted, so I was not eligible to run. But then I found out mayor was open, and I was like, well, I looked at the description, like job description of a mayor. And I'm like, oh, wow, I already do practically all these things. I'm all that, like every characteristic that you need to have to be a mayor is already me. And
Because you lived there for so long, so you have a heart for the people.
yeah, I love Riverside.
And what you see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You've seen the changes over the years, so you want to bring some that love and that that look back to where.
And inspiration. I believe our city needs some inspiration. We need a leader that's going to come in and just motivate everybody and get everybody excited about living in Riverside and bring back that just the joy of being there. But I think politicians, which I don't consider myself a politician.
That's why everybody's gonna want you to be mayor because they don't want those politician people.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I'm an innovator, and I'm a humanitarian. Those are my 3 things, and I wanted to put that on the ballot. So when the ballots actually went out yesterday. So if you guys got your ballot, vote Qattawi. Also, if you're not registered yet, the last day to register to vote is February 19th. And if you don't register by then, your vote may not be counted. And it's weird. They explained it today at city council meeting. I don't understand how they decide whose vote will count or whose doesn't, which concerns me.
Yeah.
I feel like I should ask more questions about that. How are they going to decide which ones do count or don't? And I was actually recording it whenever I go to city council meetings and start talking about things that don't seem...
this is
what's the word I'm looking
legit,
for?
legit,
Yeah,
real.
legit. Yeah, I kind of start recording or make notes.
Who's helping you
That's
do
what-
all this?
God.
You're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was about
God.
to just ask that.
So you have
I've
nobody.
been up since 4:30 this morning. I went out. I was putting up signs. When I see people, I start talking to them. If I see a crowd of people, I go up to everybody. I always have my flyers on me. Social media, I'm an expert. I'm trending right now on Instagram. I guess I'm on the Explore page. Somebody told me I was at the mall passing out flyers, and they're like, "Oh, I saw you on the Explore page." I'm like, "Oh, cool, I'm trending." So that's cool, That means that's what I'm doing is working. My social media is working, which is one of the things I always tell my clients, that I know what I'm doing when it comes to social media. So I'm like, a couple of my goals are obviously, like, I would love to be mayor. That is my ultimate goal. But let's say that doesn't happen, right? I believe whatever God has intended for me will happen. Whether this is just meant to be an experience for me to go through and hopefully inspire others to get involved, because I think more people need to realize that politics sucks.
It takes a lot of courage too. So I salute
Yeah.
you for the
Well, you're
courage.
probably
Thank
getting a
you.
lot of people that are not like saying, "Hey, why are you doing this?" and
Oh.
friends and all this stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're like, "Oh man, that's like crazy." Like every time, you know, as an entrepreneur, when you start a business up, they're like, "Dude, that's why are you even doing that? Like, that's not gonna happen," you know. So I mean, yeah, you're probably
lot of
getting all that.
negativity.
Yeah, for sure.
But I always look at it as
Fuel.
fuel. Definitely fuel. Definitely fuel.
Me too.
But also, maybe they're afraid.
For sure,
And
they
they're
are.
projecting their fear on me.
Oh, that's 100%.
You know, so why would I even ever let that? See, I've been through so much in my life when these negative, whatever is thrown at me, it doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I had this woman just trolling me on a post, and she was just making up these lies, talking just so much crap. And I responded to every single thing. And I told her, I said, you can't say all these things to me and affect me. I'm solid. I know who I am. I know what I'm about, and I know what I've done for the community. So it doesn't matter what you say to me. You can try to show to other people what you want to pretend I am, but a lot of people already know who I am because of my social media presence in the past 12 years. So you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you get so strong that even people, like, because normally, you know, you'd want to
Yeah.
be like, you know, just
Yes,
fight.
that just happened with us.
Yeah.
So we understand the struggle on that.
You know, yeah, but you can't let them get to you. You know,
Nah.
what you got to do is you got to come back at them with, you know, a stronger, you know, statement, the truth, and they'll eventually disappear. And guess what? She ended up deleting that thread.
Oh, dang.
I took snapshots of it.
Yeah,
I got it. You
yeah.
know, if I need to pull it up and
Right.
Yeah.
you know, but they were trying to make me look bad on this page that has 200,000 people in Riverside. It's a Facebook group.
Dang.
And they own it, and so I guess her and her husband are just, you know, they
Trolls.
don't. Yeah.
Shout out to the trolls.
Right.
Because we know you're watching.
Yeah.
You need to
You
throw.
probably
You need
already
to
know.
throw a live event where you speak at.
Yeah.
You know, with
Oh, you want to talk about the debate that I requested that was denied?
Wow.
talk about it. So what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, I went to a debate last Monday for City Council Ward 1, and there's 5 different candidates. So I asked the Chamber of Commerce if they could set up one for me and the mayor, the current mayor. And they made a stupid excuse and said that not at this time. And so I've been posting about it because I believe that the residents should know that.
Well, we're gonna tag the crap out of this and post it all over social media, and we're like, shout out to Chamber of Commerce of Riverside, not
They're gonna be
not
so
letting
mad
her
at me.
debate. Like, why would you not let her debate? Like, what are you afraid of?
Yeah, and
that she can destroy them all. Like, why are you scared? Really? Come on.
Honestly, if you guys don't fear me and what I'm doing, then
If
why
she's
wouldn't
not
you
a
let
threat.
me? And
Yeah.
I never thought that the Chamber of Commerce was so involved with the city and the mayor. I mean, I understand the mayor comes out to different events, but why is the chamber so involved?
That's every
That-
chamber.
yeah?
That's I've been involved in different chambers for my business, like going to the events and things like that. Oh man! And when the mayor comes in, they're like, they worship the mayor.
Yeah.
So
It's
I've
the
been.
money.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's
the
It's all the that's
the,
what it is.
the city really the mayor was running that whole system
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I've been involved in entrepreneurship stuff for the chamber, and I see all that. So it's
Yeah.
like everything is just being like ran by those kind of people. So and you can see that a lot of these people
It's so
aren't trying to even put in work. They're just like, hey, pay me. I'm gonna kind of do what everybody wants me to do. They see someone like you trying to come in, they're gonna get scared.
Yeah.
Like, dang, we got this money's ours. We want to build whatever we want with this money.
I don't care about the money. What I want is my people, my Riverside people, to be happy
Yeah.
again. I want to I feel like everybody has road rage now, and everybody's always so easily, just triggered. And I'm the type of person people tell me, oh, you have a good energy when you're around me.
Yeah, you do. You have a really
I feel-
good energy.
Thank you.
For sure.
And I try to give that out everywhere I go. Even when somebody's mean to me, I'll try to be extra nice and find out what's wrong. Are you okay? You hope that they'll they'll take it in a positive way, and it might brighten their day. But yeah, this whole campaign is probably one of the toughest things. No, for sure, the toughest things I've ever been through in my life. And it was like a month ago that it hit me. I'm like, because I asked God about 8 months ago, God, why are you making me so tough? Why are you trying to make me so strong? And then like last month, I was like, oh, I remember when I, was talking to God, and this is why, because
you feel
He's
like
getting
you're
me
getting
ready.
stronger?
Oh yeah, every day.
You're learning more and more.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm ready to stand up for Riverside. And if the city was doing what they were supposed to be doing, I would have never ran. I thoroughly enjoy running my advertising agency and being in front of the camera and highlighting businesses. That's my thing. I love that.
So you want to make a difference.
Yeah, I do. I love making. That's yeah.
So
I love it.
So who encouraged you to take that step, that leap of faith in and doing what you're doing and running for mayor? Who encouraged that? Who was your biggest supporter?
My team. My agency, NV Media Advertising Agency.
Mm-hmm.
I came to them because I told them if we're going to do this, we're going to run the campaign. We're going to do this together. And everybody was on board. Yeah,
Really?
They were like, yeah, even one girl jumped up and screamed, "You're going to be mayor." And everybody looked at her. It was really funny. We're like, oh, okay. But yeah, because my team believes in me, and they know that I'm strong and what I am capable of doing. I bring change all the time, and I'm a mentor to them as well. It's not just like I'm their boss. I'd always call them my team. You know what I mean? I don't say I'm your boss. This is my team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a leader. I don't want to be a boss.
So we're into that right now. I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to ask you this question that we ask a lot of entrepreneurs. But what is leadership to you? What is that to you? What does that mean?
Leadership is doing exactly what you would tell anybody else to be doing, right? Leading by example. Leadership. It's just
do your thing. Yeah, take your time, do your thing.
Yeah,
that was good
it's,
already.
That was, I like that.
That
just
was
leading
already,
by example, being an inspiration to others. I think that's what a leader is. It's somebody that not everybody is as strong, but maybe you can encourage them to get stronger, to become wiser, to see more than what they're seeing. And that's what I feel a leader is. It's somebody that comes into your life and helps build you and opens, your eyes, your heart to more, and allows you to grow.
Yeah, I like that. I like that answer.
Thank you.
And I was thinking too. I feel like they're going to be more afraid of you going into that because you have a lot of like heart. You have a lot of spirit. You seem like you're ready to work, and they probably don't want that. They probably don't want to put that work in. They want to get that 10 million and just kind of do what they want with that money.
Yeah.
And so that they're like, oh man, if she comes in, she's gonna mess everything up for us. We're comfortable. So that's what they're probably thinking. And we're calling them out right then. Let her debate. We'll be there for the debate. Like, we'll be there.
And we understand some old folk don't like change, but, we're living in a new era. And, we have to, get on beat.
Yeah, just because they're living on top of a hill. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody is.
Right.
And you're okay with people's businesses getting broke into and all that? Like, that's not right.
No, it's not okay. And a few weeks ago, we had an incident where a little girl was sleeping on her couch in her house, and a homeless man came in. Not sure how he got in, if the family just forgot to lock the door when they went to bed, but he was like rubbing her face. She screamed. The dad came running out, chased him out, and then they eventually caught him.
Dang. And he probably gets right out of jail after that, too.
Yeah, I'm sure. When I heard that...
They wouldn't have to catch him. I would have caught him.
That's too much.
And so you have people like
that just
me
makes
that would
me
be
angry.
on the hunt
Yeah.
if that happened to my daughter.
Yeah.
I've heard even worse things that they are not disclosing, and I really don't want to.
You know why they're not disclosing?
It's going to make them look bad.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that work everywhere, including hospitals, so I know things that I wish I didn't know, and I can't say it.
Man.
I won't say it. It's so bad and awful.
Well, I can only imagine.
That was another fuel. When I heard about this, I said, nah. I was like, and literally, guys, I'm up at 4:30, sometimes 3:30 in the morning, and I go. And I don't stop till midnight, 1 o'clock. I'll get my few hours of sleep, and thank goodness for energy drinks.
That's fire, though.
That is.
That's
encouraging me right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I go to the gym every day too, so I can have that time to clear my mind. And, because this is also like, you got to make sure if you're doing something like this or running a business or starting a business, people don't understand. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your mind. You got to take care of your body, your spirit, your soul. So it's all these different parts that you got to make sure are strong and everything's connected. And a lot of people, they just start working and they're just working. They don't take care of themselves, and then they fall off, right?
And they don't realize that personal time in the gym is that's the only personal time you really get, other than when you go home and work. And your brain doesn't shut off.
Yeah.
So in the gym, our brain is, it shuts off. Because now we're working on our personal, we're working on our spirit, man, our mind, and our body. Everything is just about us at that moment. And then once you leave there, you're back to the real world.
See, that's why they don't want you. You got too much good going on in you, and they're all like full of crap. These politicians.
Yeah,
they're afraid
I'm the real
of that.
deal. Like,
yeah.
let's be real. I'm the real deal, and they're gonna try to say anything to make me look like I'm not. And it's funny because everybody's talking about how, are you ready? They're gonna come like pull out stuff about you, dirt. Go look. Honestly, I feel pretty confident they're not going to find any dirt on me that is so bad that it would affect anybody's vote on me.
Yeah.
Because I live my life for God every day. So the things that I do, the way I treat people, the way I treat myself, I believe in God. So when you have that connection, it's really hard to, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not an angel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not like they're going to be
They
like,
gotta
she was
They got to
corrupt,
go back into high school,
Man.
college days in order to,
Yes, exactly.
in order to,
I was like, well, when I
right.
was 19,
I was about
when I
to
was
say,
21.
hold on, yeah.
Well, I mean, what kind of dirt you gonna find when these people are letting homeless break into houses and touch little kids?
Yeah.
So that's dirt right there. Like,
Yeah.
you're okay with that? What are you doing about that? What steps are you taking to prevent that? So I mean, that's dirt. They want to try to bring up dirt like they already got a lot of dirt on them. Like, figure something out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's messed up, man.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even comprehend how they're not trying to figure something out.
Yeah.
When things like that are happening.
I will say this. Since I started running and I've been really getting out there, I started noticing that the city's taking a little bit more initiative to
All of a sudden.
bring solutions. Of course, because now they need to show the citizens that they're gonna provide them with what they want. Because I'm the alternative.
Definitely.
I'm the alternative that can come in and give them what they want. Because I've already said I'm not afraid to use the veto. And the other day, actually yesterday, when the trolling was going on, there was other trolls, like many trolls everywhere.
Yeah.
And so one guy
Shout out
was
to the trolls again.
Yeah.
We love you.
You're watching everything.
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 Yeah.
We know you.
And we know who you
They'll
are.
probably try to
too.
hold this podcast against me. Look,
They probably
they'll
will.
probably be like, "Oh, she's talking bad about the city." No, I'm not talking about bad about. I love my city, and I love the people in my city, and it's time for us to be taken care of and to get what we pay for. Our money's taken, the utilities, the taxes, the business owners and their permits, the cost of permitting, it's insane.
We didn't talk a lot about utilities. I keep hearing you saying this
Yeah.
stuff about electricity and utilities.
Yeah.
So you guys got a spike in utilities. Tell us more.
Yeah,
like,
in the past year, it went up. Some people say it was 30%. I feel like my bill went up at least 50%.
but that's a lot because I felt some type of way, and I got some property somewhere, in America, and I felt like I was being discriminated against, because my bill, I wasn't even there, and my bill was spiking up. Like I was like $300-400 a month, and
And you're not even there.
I promise you wasn't even there, and it was months and months, and I'm trying to explain. It was like, oh, okay, but they thought I was there.
Yeah.
So tell us more
Damn.
about
That's crazy.
Okay,
Hey,
so let's
that's
talk about the
crazy.
utilities. So Riverside is a charter city, so kind of makes us like a little bit different, like we have more control in our city. And the utilities goes through Riverside, so it's RPU, Riverside Public Utilities. So all the money that comes in through that goes to the city, or not to the city, to RPU, but then the 11.5% goes to the general fund transfer, or whatever. It's so frustrating because I've met, just in the past few months, I've met so many passionate people about bringing change to the city, and the stories that they tell me and their concerns. But yeah, the utility costs went up We own the utilities, so why did we have to raise up the cost of the utilities? Well, what that tells me is the city needs more money. We're in debt. We're in debt right now, and they need more money. So what are they doing? They're coming to us, the residents. Hey, let's get their money.
Yeah.
We don't need you to take any more money from us, right?
What about solar?
So-
How does that affect or help? You know,
How's the what? I'm sorry.
solar affect or help?
Oh, solar.
You know,
Yeah.
the economy. You know, if you guys start getting more solar around in different places, how does that help?
Well, if people have solar, that's great, right? Because then they're not necessarily, they have like a certain contract with RPU. But I recently had a solar client, and I was helping him advertise, and I told him Riverside's a great city to advertise in. Now, I'm not saying this is facts. I'm not sure. This is what he told me. My client told me that he couldn't do solar in Riverside because of RPU. I don't know. I tried to bring it up to somebody, and they got a little defenseful.
Whoa.
And usually, when somebody gets defenseful, and she was probably like higher up in the RPU, you know. And so because I'm not afraid to speak my mind or ask questions. You know, if something doesn't seem right, why wouldn't I ask?
Yeah.
She was like, no, that's incorrect. And she went to talk to somebody immediately, and then she came back. She's like, here, call her. She'll talk to you. And I'm like, okay. It's like,
You're like, and that
I'm
was just a question, lady.
Yeah, yeah, but they already don't like that
Yeah.
I'm doing that. But that's the thing is, like, that's what we need. That's the type of leadership that
Yeah.
we need.
To know what's going on.
Yeah,
I mean,
if we're really if the mayor's really for the people, shouldn't that be what the mayor does?
Yeah.
Like our street cleaners, sweepers. Somebody posted on Nextdoor. Oh, look they posted pictures. They came by yesterday and it's still dirty. But when our car's there, they'll give us a ticket. But then they
They're not
don't
cleaning
even
the
do the
streets.
job right. And I looked at the post and I said, it looks like to me, and this is a business owner thinking like of the big picture. This is probably like a management issue on a part of the company that's contracted through the city to do this job. Now, they're always sending out the, what do they call the request for proposal, RFPs. So they get all these companies that come in and, how are they choosing these companies? Are we choosing companies that are actually going to do the job right for the city? Are we looking at what's going to be the cheapest? I mean, not cheap meaning the quality has to be cheap, but we're getting, 100 different proposals. Are we really evaluating them and understanding which one's going to be the best for the city? Does that make sense?
And I guarantee they're not, because I'm in the diesel repair facility. I have my own, this is so
Outside here is
so I see how I know how the whole thing works when it comes to bidding, and they have their favorites.
Yeah.
So they want to stick with whoever they're close to, because I'm not saying they're taking money, but they're taking money under the table a lot of the times. They'll do whole bidding wars
I don't want to
thing.
think about that.
That is so big, because I can't even get in. I've had my business for 9 years, and I got to really push my way in for some of these things. Like, cause I'm a talker like you, so I can go in there and I have some huge accounts. I mean, like big accounts, but it took me a lot to get in that. At the same time, when it comes to bidding just through the computer, I can't talk to them like that.
Yeah.
So there's no getting in, because they already got their people. Everybody explains that to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
They already know who they're
got
going to
no
pick.
shot.
Just send your stuff so they can pick who they want.
And
who
they'll,
they're already gonna
and
pick.
they'll even send me information. Hey, bid on this, because they have to have a certain amount people bidding on it, but they're going to give it to the same person.
Yeah.
So that's how it works, and I guarantee that's how it's working, especially in that
With
industry, because I
the
know
street-
that industry.
The street sweepers,
Yes.
yeah. And see, that's the thing is, if it's an issue with the street sweeper company, then why wouldn't the mayor go talk to them and say, I mean, to me, it seems like a super simple solution, right?
But they're
go
boys,
talk to
they're
them.
homies. That's why, and they're like, "Oh no, you're good."
Yeah, like,
That's
oh,
what's
just
going on.
keep, no. But that's not okay.
Exactly.
Somebody needs to, the mayor should go to them and say, I'd like to set up a meeting, or, have her assistant, whatever, set up a meeting and go talk to them and say, we're paying you to get a job done. You guys are not doing it properly.
Yeah.
Please get the job done right. We're going to do a survey after 2 weeks with our constituents and see
That's good.
if you did. I already have a whole,
Yeah.
I've already got a plan of everything. Like, I'm going to if I get voted in, I'm ready to run.
People are
They
gonna be
better
like,
get ready.
"Damn."
Like they need to. That's probably why they don't want me to win either. They're like, oh God, because they know. Because I'm not.
People are gonna have
stop.
to actually put in work instead of just sitting there chilling on their phones.
Yeah.
or the
Oh
computer.
yeah.
You're gonna have to work.
Yeah.
You're like, I want you watching everything.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
it's got to be great work. You know.
I like that though.
I definitely encourage you to figure out how the voting system work and how the votes and ballots are being accounted for. Mm-hmm. Because
about that February 19th thing that I was telling you
yes.
guys about. Yeah, I need to find out because it was very odd when she mentioned it, and it was mentioned very nonchalantly, like, oh, and if you do go vote, or if you're not registered and you go vote, your vote may not be counted, depending on like, and she just used some like big word, and I can't even remember what it was because I was like, is she trying to trick us? That's like what I think, right?
Man,
Yeah.
you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna say this because this is like interesting to me really bad. If you need any help, like hit me up.
Okay.
Because I'm actually like not just for that because it's experience for me anyways. So I would like to see. Like to ask these questions because I'm big on that. Like I can dive into things and I can get answers.
Okay.
That's what I'm really good at. So I feel like if you do need any help, I mean, how's over best? I'm ready to help a little bit. I want to see what this is about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This seems kind of cool to me.
Can we shift a little bit into
go.
her other entrepreneur business?
Yeah, let's do that.
You said that you have the teeth whitening kit.
Oh yeah, Qattawi Wowie.
Qattawi Wowie.
I'm always trying something different.
You probably look at everybody's teeth now, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go over there.
You're like, you just go online, Qattawi Wowie.
No offense, but I do have a chip on my shoulder when it comes to that. But go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, can I trust a person that, you know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, Qattawi Wowie. So I've been blessed to be able to work with a lot of different businesses and go to different places, shows, conventions. Well, people always comment about my smile. Oh, you have a nice smile.
Yeah, you got that smile for sure. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I came across a company that would make a teeth whitening kit for me, name it, everything, brand it.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
and
smart.
so
She's already got the smile. Like, hey, you just mark it on me.
so yeah, and I tried it. It works, and so I was like, you know what? Let's do this. And so it's one of those things. I'm like, let's do this. And so now I have Qattawi Wowie. You can go to QattawiWowie.com.
Smile like the mayor, right here.
So how did that get started? Like, did they seen that you met someone and how did it get started? Like, where's the groundwork of this?
I actually was in Boston for one of my clients' conventions. He does different products for like shampoos and CBD creams. And so he asked me to go with him because it was a show, which a lot of people probably don't even realize that there's stuff like this. But you can create a product and go to this show where Walmart, Target, all these big brand stores are sitting there waiting to check out your product and see if they want to bring it on. Like literally, like that is the day that your whole life will just change. You'll level up so fast. If you just come, be creative and think of something that is, a need of people and nobody else is making it, then it's just, I think a lot of people don't realize that everything in life is really easy to do if you just stop thinking that it can't be done. Like, get that word can't out of your head because everything is possible. It's all possible. Let's say you think of a cream that nobody else has. Maybe it's like with grape seed oil or whatever. I don't know. Let's just say, okay. And you're like, oh, but how am I going to make this? Now we're so lucky. We have Google. You could probably go on Google and find a company that will manufacture it for you locally. Preferably, we want to keep the business in our city or state or country. But China, obviously China, they make a lot of stuff for people that are, they'll just create it for you. You tell them what you want and they'll make it for you. Yeah. And now you can have your own product. And if you sell a million, let's say you sell a million products and you make $1 off each one. That's $1 million right there, right?
And you got AI too. AI will just write a whole cream up for you. You can literally ask AI. Utilize AI for everything.
You made it sound so easy, millionaire.
Well, I hope to be an inspiration to others. I hope that they can look at me and say, "Oh wow, if she can do it, I can do it too." I want people to know that they can. I want everybody around me to thrive, to be successful.
It's not just about the money for you.
No,
Right.
God always takes care of me. That's
Definitely.
the thing. I really do feel my whole life He's always taken care of me. I don't need to worry about anything. Even at the points in my life that I was struggling and I was unsure what was the next step, He always came through. He's always
So let's get
been
into
there.
that a little bit.
Yeah, dive into that.
So that, yeah, because I want to kind of know who you are a little
Yeah,
bit.
where
So
you come from.
so how did you grow up? Like how was it growing up? Were you well off, or tell us a little bit about that?
So no, I mean my parents came from another country. They came here for the American dream. So they had nothing.
Okay.
My mom and my dad worked in donut shops until they started working in the swap meet, and that's where they started their own businesses, and I got to witness that. But yeah, I grew up I remember donut shops as a kid, watching donuts being made. So by the way, I love donuts.
Donut-
Now, I wonder why.
Y'all didn't have to eat donuts for dinner, did y'all?
It's funny. But yeah, so then my parents got a divorce when I was very young. I don't really remember them being together. And then that's why I ended up in Riverside at the age of 4. I've actually, I've moved a lot because my parents being divorced, so I would go back and forth. My mom ended up remarrying and moving to Mexico. That was probably one of the hardest things in my life. I have this memory of me being in Mexico with her and her feeling that I wasn't going to excel in Mexico, and so, which I speak Spanish, by the way, and she put me on a plane and sent me home, and I was by myself. I was probably 6 or 7 years old.
Wow.
And I never cried so hard. I mean, I remember I cried the whole way. The flight attendants were trying to calm me down. I remember I had a little blanket on my head, and I just cried. And it was the hardest thing for
Well, it seems
my
like
mommy.
it'd be really hard.
Yeah, my mommy just sent me away, and that little
what?
kid's brain, that's what I was thinking. And so I think that, all these things, I'm not mad about it. I'm not oh, Mom, you left me, when I was a kid. No, if my mom watches this, Mom, I love you if you're watching right now. It's okay, because all the things that I went through made me who I am today. And I needed to go through that. It was an experience meant for me to build me up. God has a bigger plan for me. Who knows if it's even just this? You know what I mean? I feel like I'm stronger than even what I'm going through right now.
Well, you see, because we interview a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people in business and things like that had to come from the bottom, and build themselves up. So when you were talking about that, I really connect with that. But when you're saying
The struggle.
yeah, because when you're saying, oh, it can be done, you just have to figure it out. It can be done. So I'm like, okay, where does that come from? That's why I was asking you. Okay, let's dive into that. Because a lot of times, people that are well off are not saying really what you're saying like that. It can be done. You can get it figured out. There's problem solving. So the way you explain that's why I was like, let's dive into that a little bit. So it explains that you were able to build yourself up. You build yourself up through struggles. So you can always find a way.
Right.
So that's what's great if you become mayor is you'll find a way to figure it out to get to the next step, what you need to get to. So that's a good deal right there.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, they'll be afraid of that. You know what I mean? But the people would love that because you'll figure it out. It might take you time, and you can help people get in place to help you get things figured out because you will need those people anyway. So.
Yeah, and when you're mayor of Riverside, I believe you get 7 or 8 people that you can hire that are on your team. And I'm already meeting people that are very involved in the community and kind of planting seeds, because I want people that have a heart like me that care about the city, that want to bring change and do what's best for the city.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on. There's the RTRP, which is a plan from 20 years ago that the city had approved, and I guess Southern California Edison or whatever is trying to get us to do it, and it's a lot of pressure, but it's a plan from 18 years ago. And let's be real, 18 years ago we didn't even have social media, so how are you gonna do something that we talked about doing 18 years ago? This needs to be reevaluated, and we need to figure out what's the best solution today, not 18 years ago. Yeah. And that's one thing that I immediately see. I'm the type of person you'll talk to me and I'm listening, and then but if something doesn't make sense, I'm on it, and I'll start asking questions. I'm like, why? Okay, what's going on? So
People
that's
are
one
gonna,
of them.
That's gonna make people afraid because you're paying attention that closely and
Yeah.
you're depicting what they're saying. They're gonna be like, "Oh, wait a minute, we don't want her to dive into that."
Yeah.
They just think they're just making small talk with you or telling you a little bit of the problems, but you're like dissecting it all.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
good though. That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
But that's not how people want to do things. That's
Yeah.
what's crazy, you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm the change. I'm the
I can see that you would change things.
Yeah.
You'll find a way, like the best way possible while you're married to change things.
Yeah.
So that's
Question for you.
Yeah.
So in business and entrepreneur, what was the greatest thing or accomplishment that you feel like you accomplished? And also, what did you have to overcome, in business the most? Like, what did you have had to overcome? Like your fear, and...
Well, I started doing social media marketing before anybody else was. I was on MySpace. You guys remember?
We all know.
Now
About
you guys know how old I am. By the way, a lot of people think I'm really younger than what I am, and so they're like, "Oh, she's too young. She won't know how to run our city."
Yeah.
You look.
I'm
young.
older. I'm older than what you think I am, and I just have a young energy, which I'm glad because it gives me the energy to keep going, right? What was I saying?
Overcoming and
You were the first in marketing.
right.
Yeah, so when I started advertising, nobody else was doing it. When I started doing social media marketing, they didn't even call it social media marketing. I just would say, "Oh, do you want me to help you with your social media?" Like it was just that's what it
Right.
was.
It wasn't marketing. I remember those days. Yes,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, and so then and there was no influencers. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was going live at restaurants and doing tours of the places, nobody was really doing it. The only other person that had something similar to what I was doing was the IE Explorer, and I used to always watch him and be like, "Oh, that's so cool. He has his own show and he gets to go to all these places," and he inspired me. And that's when I saw that Facebook Live button go on, and I was like, And that day, I just pulled up my phone, and I hit the button. I went live for the first time, and I'm like, "Hey, guys, it's
Yeah.
Jessica Q," because Qattawi's tough to say. And I became Jessica Q. So the past 12 years, almost 12 years, I've been Jessica Q in the IE in Riverside. And, and then I started my advertising agency because I worked in radio, and I left my radio job.
Okay.
But I think that's like my biggest accomplishment was starting my advertising agency that was social media marketing that nobody else was doing. So I had a lot of opportunity, but guess what? You would think I had a lot of opportunity, but people didn't believe in it because they've never heard about it.
Right.
And a lot of people tend
Wondering
to...
how much money it was going to make and how far it could go.
I was charging $600 for a month of advertising. I would post every day.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd make videos, and I would respond, and I would
that's where the hustle mentality came in.
Yeah,
Right?
I had to prove
That's
to
a
them.
lot.
Yeah, I had to prove what it was and what it was worth. Then eventually, even the clients that I did have that were doing really good, they were worried. They didn't want to give me testimonials because they were worried that I would take the business from them. You know what I mean? They'd
Because
be
they
like,
wasn't good at what you've already been practicing at.
Yeah.
yeah,
At your art, so they was scared and intimidated.
that it might yeah, like they just wanted it all for themselves too.
Right.
They were like, at first they were like, "Whoa, like you found the this magic like beanstalk that's gonna take us to the golden egg," you know?
Yeah.
And it did. And my first clients, I mean, I know that their lives were changed because nobody else was doing it. And during the pandemic, that was another time that everybody got off social media, like stopped paying for ads. But that was the time to really be on there because it's like today, it's raining. And what do people do? They stay home and they play on their phone all day. So if I wasn't here right now, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be at home talking to everybody on social media saying I'm running for mayor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what that's
Now you should tell they're alive. She's running for mayor.
yeah.
No.
you guys. Yeah.
How many?
You got chats, anything right now?
Anybody ask a question?
You have a lot of chats for the Instagram.
Oh yeah. Well,
You want to look at some
there's
of them?
there's no, some of them are bad.
You want to like skim through her chats and see what maybe a good question to ask on some of her chats. But we'll just
Please,
keep going.
keep it,
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah,
PG-
yeah. Oh, for
PG-13.
sure, yeah. But yeah, so the whole thing is I wanted to ask you too, because I mean, self-sacrificing.
Yeah.
You had to do a lot of self-sacrificing while running for mayor. What do you think's been the biggest self-sacrificing you've had to do while running?
So just for my campaign?
Let's say for that, yeah, for running for your campaign. Or even in general, with business, anything like.
I guess like I don't think about like sacrifices. Like I think about, I got to do it, right? It's just what I got to do, and I just got to keep moving forward. It doesn't matter, whatever it is. But maybe like sacrifice, like relationships, like
That's always a big thing.
Yeah, I'm single. I don't have, any children. So being successful and having that,
Shout out to all the men out there.
Get out of here! No, not all the comments are coming in. No, but I'm not interested in dating. Okay, no. I gotta stay focused right now.
So what is your motivation? Like, what keeps you motivated?
God.
God.
Making a difference. Mm-hmm. Helping people. That makes me happy.
What about you? Like, what do you want other than, for yourself? Other than, you're helping others, doing something for other people. Like,
what do I want for myself?
Yes. Personal. Like,
I don't know. I think it's more of it makes me feel good to
give to
help
others.
Yeah,
right.
It does,
but you're gonna get burned out eventually doing that for others, and then you have to eventually make it about you too.
Well, you said something earlier though that I feel that. So I caught this. I thought you would say this because I think this is what you're doing it for. So you have. Because when you were talking about how you need to be mentally strong, spiritually strong, physically strong. So a lot of this that you're doing is it's bringing you like more awareness, intellect. Spiritual. It's making you stronger. It's growing. You're growing everywhere.
Yeah.
When you're putting your whole life on the line for certain things, for business, for running for mayor. Yeah. So I think that's what you like about all this is it keeps you growing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I absolutely want to keep growing. Yes, always. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, I still take classes at the local community college just because I like to keep learning, or you know what I mean, I'm a certified Zumba instructor. I'm a certified cigar sommelier tobacconist. I mean, I just like to learn and keep trying new things. Yeah. It's just, it's experience. It's fun.
You like making money.
And what?
And you like making money.
Well, I like making money, but it's not. But in the long run, it's not about the money,
okay.
But when I was younger, I did struggle. I've been on my own since I was 17. And everything I have is because I worked hard for it.
That's right.
From my house that I own, from my car. Okay, one time I was on Let's Make a Deal and I won a car so that I didn't have to work hard for. I just had to look up car strong, Let's Make a Deal. And it aired during the pandemic. I won the car right before the pandemic. But I just had to, it was like a beer pong, but it was a car pong. Mm-hmm. And the second ball went in. And even, what's his name, the host of the show? Oh my God.
I don't remember. I know who
Wayne Brady.
Oh, Wayne Brady's on that.
He came up to me, hugged me. He's like, "I've never seen that happen before." I'm lucky.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of things. It seems like whatever man you're going to end up being with, he's going to have to be running. He's going to have to be doing things.
Well, I think that the reason why God hasn't.
You could turn him into a housewife.
Yeah, me.
No, you could turn him into a housewife.
Yeah, because
I don't think that
not
would
a
be
house
attractive
husband.
to me.
It wouldn't.
A housewife.
It wouldn't be attractive to you.
I've had guys
that
are like, very sugar babies.
They want to be
I'm a sugar mama.
But they want to be the first lady, the first man. It ain't gonna work out.
Oh my God! I was just talking to somebody the other day. We were saying that he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be the first lady, or you're gonna be the president," and which a lot of people keep saying. They keep bringing up who knows? Maybe you'll be, the president. And I'm like, I don't know. Whatever God has in store for me, I'm ready to go. Whatever it is. But then my friend, I was like, I'm gonna be the president, and I told him, I was like, oh, what, you want to be the first man?
Yeah, there it is. Trying to be the first man right there. Because if not, you're gonna have these men running ragged. If not, they're gonna be like, I gotta learn all this stuff. I gotta do stuff.
I definitely need. I know that I definitely need somebody that is stronger than me, which I'm really strong. So I'm like, he's got to be really strong. He's got to be very secure with himself. Because a lot of people talk to me. I don't have the intention. When you meet people, they don't always have the same intention as you. But yeah. Yeah.
So hear that, man?
The question.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that then.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
The question, is
Oh
it a
yeah,
good
we're
one?
in. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay.
So like, I didn't know we were this deep. It's already almost an hour, over an hour. Huh?
Over an hour?
Yeah, because we
Oh my
usually do an
gosh.
hour, but I do want to ask you this question. We can close with this one because well, here we go. So
Okay.
everything. I mean, because we kind of got into this a lot already, anyways. But let's say take away the house, the cars, the clothes. I mean, the running for mayor, all that stuff. Who are you deep inside? Who are you? Like, if we were to go in and explore your heart, your mind, your spirit, who are you as a person?
I'm this soft, loving person that just wants to see everybody around them happy, that wants to see, like, joy in others, to see. It's gonna sound like I'm like a hippie or something, but
No,
like
it's
peace,
fine.
like peace on earth, peace in the world, peace in our hearts, peace in everything that we do, that we can live to be who we're meant to be, not being influenced by social media to make us look like girls think that they have to have big lips and have a certain look to be beautiful, or men feel like they need to be driving this really expensive car to, feel good and be happy. But rather that we can all just be who we are meant to be and live a way that is like it's true, like true. Be true to
Authentic.
yourself, authentic
Live your
and
purpose.
unique. And everybody's supposed to be unique. And nowadays, we've gotten to the point that you feel like you have to be a certain way, or you don't fit in. And then, but people are slowly starting to think that way too. And it's like, I hope I'm going to manifest this. When I'm mayor, one of the things that I want to do is I want to inspire the people around me. I want them to believe in themselves. I want them to be true to themselves. I want them to be authentic and feel good in being authentic. And it's amazing when you actually let yourself be who you're meant to be. More things come into your life, more opportunities. The right people start coming into your life. And that's what I hope to open the door for those people that don't see that right now,
Yeah.
or maybe lost it. That really. Okay, so my inspiration in life, like my inspiration since I was a very young girl, Mother Teresa and Princess Diana. Those two women, growing up, I would see what they were about, what they did. And they cared about people, and they always tried to make a difference. And I remember seeing Princess Diana going overseas and, feeding the children that were, refugees or living in tents. So I've actually done that. I've gone and I've rescued children and families out of the ocean that were running from war. It was life-changing. It made me appreciate what I have, who I am, the opportunities that I've been given, so much more. It changes you, And I think that also allowed me to even be a little bit stronger in trying to help. And, and it's hard because sometimes people are mean. And you're like, well, they're mean to me, so let me just be mean to them. No. That's where we have to change. That's where the change is going to come, is when we say
and ask
no.
them if they're okay, instead of try to figure out,
instead of fighting back.
Right, figure out what's wrong with the person instead of attacking the person back. Like, that person might had a bad day, or that person might be going through divorce. That person might be going through something at school. They might
have lost their mom that
right,
day or
bullied
that week
or something. They could be bullied. So figuring out what's wrong instead of reacting so fast all the time.
Yeah, treat people the way that you want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
No matter what. So next time somebody is, making you frustrated or angry, take a deep breath. And rather than coming back at them at that same level, I want to say level up and say, are you okay?
Right.
Why are you upset?
Mm-hmm.
This
talk about
issue
it,
is
right.
something that we can talk about. We don't need to fight. Or like road rage, people.
Maturity at its best.
Don't try to road rage them
Maturity
back. Be
at
like,
its
wave
best.
and be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah. I think if we all start just kind of implementing that a little bit, we will start to see a change in our community that's surrounding us.
Because it got that way somehow.
Yeah.
Because it didn't used to be like that, you know, in certain communities. When you see that change, you have to go back to where, you know, it was, hey, how you doing, waving, and everybody speaking to one another, to where now people are just driving and not even paying attention that, you know.
Yeah. I know the pandemic was part of it too. It kind of threw people off a lot and isolated them. So now when they get out, it's not the same. But no excuses.
Yeah.
In life, you can't have there's no excuse for whatever you're doing. If you're not doing something that makes you happy or it's wrong, that's you.
Right.
So you need to work on you.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't be a sheep and be part of everybody else.
Exactly.
You know, stand outside of all that. So. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, howl
at it.
Oh.
I like that. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and we're definitely have to have you on again.
Thank
That
you.
hour went quick. It was like, where did it go? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you having you on, and we got to have you on again, though.
I would
eventually.
love
that'd
to.
be
I had
good.
so much fun with you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Yeah.
for saying that was a great experience.
Yeah.
It was. No, I loved it. You guys are awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna close out. Do your thing.
House of a Baz. I'm Ronnie Adams.
I'm Jacob Casas. Shed the sheep. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we're out.
We out of here.